Have you ever just stopped right in the middle of your day and wondered where literally everything around you comes from? I mean, really think about it. You wake up, you check your phone, maybe you grab a Starbucks coffee on your way out, or you just order a quick snack online using an app. Every single one of those things, your phone, your clothes, your absolute favorite apps, they all exist because someone, somewhere, decided to create a business. So welcome to The Explainer. Let's say you're saving up to buy a brand new pair of sneakers. You walk into this massive store and boom, you are immediately hit with hundreds of choices, right? Different brands, varying prices, wild colors, different styles. But as you're standing there trying to decide, have you ever actually paused to think? Who designed those specific shoes? Who manufactured them? Who shipped them all the way across the world? And who organized this entire store to sell them to you? Behind every single product you touch, there is a business. And honestly, understanding how these businesses work, it's the ultimate key to understanding how our entire world operates.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll be defining a business. Second, we'll dive into needs, wants, and solutions. Third, the 5 business goals. Fourth, the input-output formula. Fifth, why competition actually matters. And finally, the 3-step framework. Let's just jump right in.
All right, Section 1, Defining a Business. It is time to completely shift our perspective. We're going to stop looking at the world just as consumers who buy shoes, and we're going to start looking at the world as the creators who actually make them. So, here's the formal definition. A business is an organization that produces or sells goods and services to satisfy customer needs and wants while earning a profit. Now, I know, that sounds like a really dense piece of AP exam vocabulary, and at first glance it might seem kind of complicated, but honestly, it's incredibly straightforward. Businesses really just do 3 simple things. They create value, they serve customers, and they earn money. If an organization is doing those 3 things, boom, it's a business.
Now, what a business actually sells basically falls into 2 distinct categories. First up, we have goods. These are your physical products, things you can physically touch and hold. Your shoes, the cars we drive, laptops, your lunch. Basically, if you can drop it on your foot, it's a good. Second, we have services. These are activities provided for customers. You can't hold a haircut in your hands, right? But you certainly pay for it, streaming your favorite shows, teaching, banking. These are all services. So think about this for a second. If you decide to make handmade bracelets in your bedroom and sell them online, what are you doing? Well, you're providing a physical good, you're creating value, and you're receiving payment. Congratulations, you are officially a business owner. Moving right along to Section 2, Needs, Wants, and Solutions.
Okay, so we know what a business is, but we really need to explore the fundamental reasons why these organizations even exist in the real world in the first place. Like, why do people start them? Well, it all comes down to basic human psychology. Businesses exist because people have needs and wants. Needs are things that are strictly necessary for our survival. We're talking about basic food, clean water, and shelter. You literally cannot live without these. Wants, on the other hand, are things that aren't strictly essential for survival, but man, they drastically improve our lives and bring us joy. Video games, those designer sneakers we talked about earlier, tropical vacations. Businesses are built to satisfy both sides of this equation. A grocery store satisfies a basic need, while a luxury fashion brand satisfies a want.
So here's the absolute crucial point. Businesses don't just exist to sell you stuff. At their absolute core, businesses are problem solvers. The most successful businesses identify a frustrating problem out in the world, and they provide a seamless solution for it. Just think about some of the companies you probably use every single day. Take Amazon. What was the problem? Well, driving to multiple stores to find what you need was super time-consuming. The solution? Build an everything store with online shopping and lightning-fast delivery. Or think about Netflix. The problem? People were limited to whatever was playing on TV, or they had to actually drive to a rental store. Netflix solved those entertainment limits by offering streaming on demand. And Uber, the problem was standing out in the rain hoping to hail a taxi. The solution was using a smartphone's GPS for instant ride sharing. It's a simple formula, really. Find a problem, build a solution, build a business.
All right, Section 3, the 5 business goals.
Now, a lot of people tend to think businesses only exist for one single reason, to make as much money as humanly possible. But the reality of what keeps an organization running is actually much more complex and, frankly, much more interesting than that. Let's not kid ourselves, though, money is important. Goal number 1 is definitely to earn a profit, and the fundamental math formula for this is super simple. Profit equals revenue minus costs. Revenue is all the money a business earns by selling its goods or services. But a business also has to spend money to operate, right? Buying materials, paying employees, renting a building, those are your costs. If your revenue is higher than your costs, awesome, you have a profit. But if your costs are higher than your revenue, yeah, your business won't survive for very long.
But let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Here are all 5 main goals that keep a business thriving. Number 1, as we just saw, is earn profit. But number 2 is just as critical.
satisfy customers. Happy customers return and buy again. Unhappy customers leave and drop terrible reviews. Number 3, grow and expand. Most businesses want to open more stores, launch more products, and reach more customers. Number 4, create jobs. Every single time a business grows, it needs more people, which provides vital employment opportunities for the whole community. And number 5, innovate new ideas. Businesses have to constantly push the boundaries of technology and services just to stay relevant. Honestly, it's a continuous balancing act of all 5 of these goals that makes a company truly great.
Section 4, the input-output formula.
Okay, so we know the goals, but how do companies actually create value on a random Tuesday afternoon? Well, every single business on Earth follows this exact mechanical formula, and it happens in 3 basic stages. Stage 1, inputs. These are the raw resources you need just to get started. Think employees, startup money, equipment, and raw materials. Stage 2 is the process. This is where the magic actually happens. The business takes all those inputs and actively transforms them, combining them in a unique, specific way, which directly leads to Stage 3, output. This is the final good or service that is actually sold to the customer. Raw materials go in, they get systematically transformed, and valuable products come out. Simple as that.
Let's anchor this abstract concept with a highly relatable, real-world example. Think of a local bakery, or even a massive global food chain like McDonald's. For a bakery, what exactly are the inputs? Well, you've got flour, sugar, the workers mixing the dough, and the ovens themselves. That's stage 1. Now, what is the process? It's the actual act of baking, following the specific recipes, applying the heat. And finally, what is the output? Fresh, warm bread and beautiful cakes totally ready to be sold. See, it makes the input-output formula incredibly easy to visualize. Every single business, from a massive tech giant making smartphones all the way down to a kid running a neighborhood lemonade stand, uses this exact same 3-step flow.
Next up, Section 5, Why Competition Matters.
So here is the stark reality of the market. Businesses almost never get to operate completely alone in a vacuum. Competition occurs when multiple businesses try to attract the exact same customers. Let's think back to our sneaker example from the very beginning of this explainer. You have a set amount of money and you really want some shoes. Nike wants your money, but hey, Adidas also wants your money, and so does Puma and New Balance. They're all looking at the exact same customer, you, and they are trying to convince you that their product is absolutely the best. That recognizable real-world rivalry, that is literally the heartbeat of a thriving economy.
Now, you might be thinking businesses constantly fighting over customers sounds super stressful. But for you and me, it is literally the best thing ever. Because Nike and Adidas are fighting over your specific sneaker money, what do they have to do? Well, they have to improve product quality so their shoes actually last longer. They have to lower consumer prices, or else you're just going to buy the cheaper brand. They are forced to encourage constant innovation, inventing lighter materials and cooler designs. And they have to provide better customer service, like super easy returns, just to keep you loyal. At the end of the day, when businesses compete, the consumer always wins.
And finally, Section 6, the 3-step framework. Throughout this whole explainer, we've basically looked at how businesses work from the outside looking in. Now, let's completely shift your mindset. We are moving from being a passive consumer to becoming an active entrepreneurial creator. This is the foundational 3-step framework that every single successful founder uses. If you want to start a business, you don't start by printing fancy business cards. No, you start right here. Step 1, identify a problem. Look around your world, your school, your community. What frustration exists? What unmet need or want is just sitting out there? Step 2, create a solution. Brainstorm a very specific product or service that fixes that exact problem. And step 3, deliver value. Figure out how to get that solution to people in a way that makes their lives so much better that they are thrilled to pay you for it. Literally every major company, from the smallest local coffee shop to a giant tech monopoly like Amazon, started by running through these exact 3 steps.
Wow, okay, we've covered a massive amount of ground today. We've defined what a business actually is, we explored the difference between goods and services, learned the 5 main goals, visualized the input-output formula, and discovered exactly why competition drives innovation. But listen, the most important takeaway from all of this isn't just memorizing the AP vocabulary, it's cultivating the entrepreneurial thinking behind it all. So, I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative question to really challenge you. What problem will your future business solve? Look around your world today. Notice the little inefficiencies. Pay attention to what frustrates people, because behind every single one of those annoyances is an incredible opportunity just waiting for someone exactly like you to build a solution. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep looking at the world with an entrepreneur's eye.